Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Saturday Night Music Club number 10. Here with the usual people. We got Jonathan, special guest Brent, Robert, James, and Dream Pop Jesse is back from his bout of
Nile fever.
All right, so as usual, 2-record theme. First theme is bad cover, rad music. Second theme is a record from a label that you really dig. So we're going to start off with bad cover, rad music, meaning the cover of the album is questionable, but the music inside is really good. So we're going to start off with Brent.
Okay, so I kind of had a problem with doing this one because I pick everything I have by the cover if I don't know what it is. So I picked Tiger B. Smith. It's a German glam rock band from the 70s. The reason I think this is a bad cover is because these guys are pretty gnarly looking.
We'll do this for this one since it's a cover driven.
They have, I mean, this guy's got some gold dust on his cheek, so, but yeah, the music is awesome in my opinion. Thin Lizzy type.
All right, Jonathan.
It was awesome. It was cool. A lot of it was hard rock. It was a lot of fun. Liked it a lot.
And so like we did last time, we're giving a score from 1, 2, or a 3, 3 being really loved it, 2 liked it, 1 didn't feel it. But for this one we also gave a score for the cover. 3 being the cover you actually liked, and 1 being the cover was bad. So Jonathan, what did you give the music?
I gave the music a 3.
And what did you give the cover?
I gave it a 2.
A 2, okay. I liked the Tiger War that started off the album. I liked the Barry White, Isaac Hayes spoken word little interludes. Thin Lizzy versus New York Dolls. Didn't really have anything negative to say about it. Peter Murphy makes an appearance on the cover there. If you guys didn't catch it, that's seriously
Right there.
And then on the back cover, seriously, look at that. That's pre-Bauhaus Peter Murphy right there, isn't it? So I gave it a 2 on both regards. Jesse.
Yeah, I put that it kind of had a Bowie, kind of 70s glam rock, but I also gave the music a 3 and the sleeve a 2.
Okay.
Cover.
All right, James.
I thought it was all right. The first song kind of sounded like it was Venom's "In League with Satan" by Kiss, which I thought was kind of weird. And then the second one did sound like David Bowie, but then the deeper voice kind of reminded me of Chester Cheetah from the Cheetos commercials.
Yeah, I get that.
And I kind of was like, eh. And then the third song, I kind of just started drifting off, and then there was
He fell asleep.
I fell asleep later on in the evening.
All right, scores.
So I gave it a 2, and then I originally gave the album cover a 3 when I saw it from afar, but when I saw it up close, it wasn't as.
It was a Monet.
And it was a 2.
2.
Yeah.
All right, Robert, you arrived late. I don't think you saw this one.
Yeah, I would say though that the cover. This was my favorite terrible cover of the evening.
Yeah, it was a good cover. So the Brent's record musically averaged out to be a 2.5, and the cover got a 2. All right, so next up we're gonna go to Jonathan's record.
Yeah, and this record is actually one of my favorite records. I listen to it all the time, and it's by a Canadian band called the Poppy Family. They're like a psych, kind of like folky type of band. The music is kind of like all over the place, but I thought the album like looks bad because it looks like an awkward family photo. Have you ever seen those before?
So I'll start this one off. So when I first originally heard the vocalist, which I enjoyed, it sounded like a cross between Emmylou Harris and Jenny Lewis. More Jenny Lewis than Emmylou. And then it morphed into some Burt Bacharach-esque sounds. So I gave it a genre name. I called it Baroque Country Raga.
Whoa.
I gave the music a 3, and I gave the cover a 2. I enjoyed it. Jesse.
Yeah, I put that it had kind of a Belle and Sebastian sound. And I also guess I wrote, if hipsters knew about this record, Brent would be rich. And then in parentheses,
Jesse dropping the quote.
that I wanted one as well. And I gave it the music a 3, and the cover is actually a 2. I would actually give it, right now, I would say a little bit over a 2, but it's not that bad. I really love the font that was used in the layout on the cover, so I like it.
Star's making an appearance here. All right, James.
I kind of was bored by it, a lot of it. The girl's voice was good. I like the Middle Eastern sounds that they were doing with the drums and stuff like that. And I thought that part was good. I didn't really care for a lot of the music until the last track of the first side came on, which sounded completely different and was actually pretty cool sounding.
Music?
I gave it a 2.
Cover.
And the 2.
Okay.
Add in here.
Okay. What do you feel about the cover?
I love it. It's a so bad it's good kind of cover. So I guess I'd give it a 2.
Brent.
All right, so I did the same thing Brett did, and I named the genre of it. I call it Middle Eastern country rock, and actually this has been sampled by Della Funky Homo Sapien. It's got some really cool funk in it. It's got some good sitar. I gave the music a 3 just because I really like sample music. And then the cover, they're so cheesy, I had to give it a 1. But it's an awesome record. So
Jonathan, your record musically was a 2.75. And as far as a cover, 1.75. So
right.
it was pretty disliked.
Liked and disliked.
Yeah. So James, let's go with you for your next for your bad cover rad music.
I chose Block Party, the first EP. Basically, I chose the cover because it was kind of a boring cover that basically has nothing on it except an American flag.
All right, let's start off with Jesse. Block Party. Do it.
I really like Bloc Party, especially their earlier stuff, but I'd have to agree with James. The cover is so plain that I don't even know that I would deem that art.
Jesse's on fire tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so music,
He's
cover.
picking up
Music,
Slack.
awesome. Cover, not so
Awesome.
much.
What's the number?
Number 3.
He's on
I
fire.
give it a 3.
The number
A 3 for music for cover?
Right. Cover, a 2.
Okay.
I was being generous.
Okay. So when it started up, I thought it was Men at Work, circa, if they were, I don't know, maybe they're still making albums, I don't know. Men at Work, circa 2004. Third track, I enjoyed the guitar solo, but I didn't like it a whole lot, but I didn't dislike it a whole lot. I appreciated it. I gave it a 2. I give it a 2 for the cover. I mean, it's not bad, it's not good either. You know, it's just one of those that kind of,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Jonathan?
Yeah, I like the guitars on there.
Yeah.
Awesome. The sound on it just sounded like they ripped off a lot from the Police.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
I didn't get that, but interesting. No, I mean, if I listen to it again, I would listen.
yeah.
Some
So-
passive aggressive stuff going on.
He's getting more
Nothing wrong with Police though. It just,
I wasn't.
it just
That
seems
was
like
not
you
meant.
look at it.
I was just like, I would have never thought that, but I'd have to listen to it again. They're like, yeah, I'm sorry, Jonathan. That wasn't intended.
No, it wasn't. And I
Hostile.
wasn't trying to riff on the Police either. It sounded like that.
None.
Just remind me of that.
Speaking from the police. No, okay.
No, but I gave the album cover a 2 because it was pretty just generic.
Yeah.
And the music itself, I gave it a 2. It was okay.
Brent.
All right, so my thing I liked about this is it would be fun to dance to if I danced.
Right.
And then dislike.
Bike dance.
Right, bike dancing at the end. The dislike is it just sounded like generic 80s synth pop rip-off band. It wasn't special. I've heard it like a million times. So I gave the music a 1, and the cover it's just generic. There's nothing special to it, and it's not ugly, so I gave it a 2.
Okay, so James, your record got a 2 for the music and a 2 for the cover. It's like, it's good. You're happy you're not in the 1 range. I know. I'll go with mine next. So I chose for my bad cover, I went with the Pixies, Come On Pilgrim. Their debut, if you want to call it a mini LP from 1987 on 4AD. Jesse, take it.
I wrote that I was actually a big fan of the Pixies. That album actually brings a lot of sentimental feelings back to me, I guess. It's something that I used to play with my brother when we used to go on long rides to record stores when we lived in Colorado, and I actually don't think the cover's that bad, though. I mean, it could be worse. I think Trump Lamont would be a little stranger with the eyeballs and the snow.
I dig that cover. But sorry.
Yeah.
James.
I like it. I mean, I don't think it's the best Pixies album, but I do like it, and their melodies and everything are pretty much priceless.
Did you have scores for the music and the album cover?
For both, I put 3.
Oh, wow.
I really liked it.
For both, I put 3 as well.
Wow. Robert, you don't think you were here for that, but I think you're familiar with the album.
Yeah, the thing with Pixies, I kind of came on board with Surfer Rosa, so I don't know really what's on that one.
Yeah.
But the cover, I don't really think it's a bad cover. It's kind of creepy in a cool way.
I just wish my back had that much hair.
You know.
Maybe you can show at the end. No, you won't. Brent, please don't. All right, Brent, come on, Pilgrim, Pixies.
So, I wrote that there's nothing I disliked about the Pixies. I like everything about them.
Except their last album.
Kim Deal Pixies. Let me put it that way. I just wrote everything that I like everything about them, and Kim Deal's Foxy. No. The score, I gave music a 3, cover a 2.
Okay, Jonathan.
I enjoyed this first time I actually listened to the record. I thought it rocked. I like kind of Surfer Rosa a little bit more. The other record's a little bit more than this one. It was okay. I gave it both a 2.
Okay. So scores for that one, the music 2.75, and the cover got a 2.5, which is fascinating because that was the highest, that was the most liked cover out of all of them over the night. So interesting. I don't know if that's good or bad since the topic was for a bad cover, so I've kind of failed, I guess. But it is what it is.
Wait, what was the music?
The music was a 2.75. Dream Pop, you're up.
For mine, I chose Bjork's Homogenic. Not my favorite cover for any of her albums.
Brent's the official. All right, James.
Oh, I'll go first. So, I like this album. It's Bjork before she became kind of Bjork, in the Bjork sense of Bjorkness, if that makes sense. Like, before she got, like, really bad crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like
Bjork?
So,
yeah,
pre-Swan outfit Bjork?
Kind of. Like if you picture Bjork
before she
now,
was Bjork.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like if you picture Bjork now, you think of all the crazy stuff that's aligned with it.
I think I know what he's trying to say.
But this is like the good stuff.
Okay. Cool. Let's go.
I'm going. You guys are the ones that are asking me to.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, that was
so yeah, and I actually wrote that. It's actually funny because when I listened to this when I was 17 years old, I actually believed that this would be what the future would sound like. So it's interesting to like hear it again, having not listened to it for a pretty long time. And I liked it. I gave it a 3, and I gave the artwork a 3 too because everything is good.
So did the future meet up with that sound, would you say?
No, I was kind of going past it a little bit because it still sounds a little bit like 97, 98.
Interesting. You weren't here for that one as well, Robert. Cover, what do you think?
I kind of like that cover, actually. It's weird, but I'll give it a 3, just because I think we need to have a 3.
Brent!
Alright, so I never really liked Bjork before, so I've listened to her a little bit, so this is the first time listening to a whole side of a record of hers. I don't really have anything I didn't like about it. I liked how her voice was dubbed over her voice, you know? And then it definitely had like a trip hop sound throughout, little industrial, so it was interesting and good. I liked it. I gave the music a 2 and the cover a 2.
Jonathan?
I really liked the arrangements on the record. It had a cool like sound to it. It's really big. It has a big sound to it, you know. So I gave the record, score of 3, the cover of 2. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I've obviously not obviously, but I've heard this album several times. I really enjoy the textures. I like the electronics with the organic stuff, like the strings and even the accordion in there. It's I think with this and I think Vespertine, I think are her two best. I think those are her two best works in her solo career. I'm more partial to the Sugar Cubes, but I gave the music a 3. The cover, I like the silver aspect of it. I don't know if necessarily like her picture on there, but her hands look all kind of dead and creepy, which I kind of think is interesting. So I gave the cover a 2. So Jesse, your music got a 2.75 and your cover got a 2.25, which was the second highest liked cover. So, all right, that takes us now to Robert, right?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Robert arrived right in time for his record. It was perfect time.
Yeah. So really, to get the full experience, you have to see the unfolded cover. This is Lou Reed, "Take No Prisoners." It's a live album from 1978, and in very perverse Lou Reed fashion, it sounds like a bootleg in the sense that there's all kinds of awkward pauses, there's heckling, everything that you would hear in a rambunctious club performance is left in. And of course the cover is just, it's a world of its own. So.
1978. Brent.
So Lou Reed, rock and roll. That's pretty much it. I gave it a 2 and a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I gave it the cover a 2 and the music a 3. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
I liked it. There's a little bit too much like banter going on during the songs, which would kind of like not like kind of ruin it for like repeat listening. But I really like their version of "Satellite of Love." That was really cool arrangement of that, and the band's really good on it too. So I gave the cover a 1, and I gave the actual on the 3.
Yeah, I'm a huge Lou Reed fan. I have this album, so when that popped up, I was good. You know, anytime you get an opportunity, like you said, it's not an album that you pile on every day because of all that. But I think that's probably part of the appeal and the uniqueness of that album is because of it reads like a bootleg. You know, back when I was a teenager and late teenager, collecting like Jane's Addiction bootlegs, and Perry Farrell was notorious for these onstage ramblings during songs and stuff. So it harkens to that. So it makes me appreciate, because it was probably a one-time thing, perhaps, of, you know, the things that he said in between songs. So disliked, I put a big 0 with a slash through it, because the music, the band sounds great. Music 3, the cover is ridiculous, but I still give it a 2 because it's still cool but bad. So it kind of rides that wave there. Jesse.
I put that one. I actually did like the recording. I thought it was pretty cool. I've never actually heard it before.
You're a big live recording.
I'm a big live
aficionado.
recording person, yeah. And the way it was recorded, it actually captured a 1970s New York club with all that, like the chatter and all that in the background and the heckling, and pretty cool. The cover actually reminds me of Garbage Pail Kid stickers.
It does. It totally does. It totally does. Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a 3 for the music, but a 1 for the cover.
Oh, okay. So Robert, 2.75 for the music. The cover.
What about?
Oh, sorry, James. My apologies, James.
Tell the world. Tell the world you're sorry.
Clock's running, battery's taking. Sorry, everyone.
I basically said, I quoted, or this is what I said. I said, the jokes, the tokes, the 70s Stokes. So
TM.
take that how you want it to be. I do like Lou Reed. When I saw that it was there, I got excited. But then when I started hearing it, I found it kind of a little bit boring, especially for the atmosphere of what we were in. I think it would have been better if I was listening to it at my house on my own. I give it a 2 and the artwork a 2.
2 and a 2?
I don't fall asleep then.
Okay, so 2.75 on the music, and the cover actually got a 1.75. So really, the music had a 4-way tie on at 2.75 between Robert, between Jesse's, between Jonathan's, and between mine. The worst cover of the night was a tie between Jonathan's and Robert's. So, yep. That's it on the first theme there, guys. That was good. Good job. Okay, so our next theme, as we talked about earlier, is the pick a record from a music label that you really like. So we shall have Brent start this one out.
All right, so I picked the label Sublime Frequencies. It's co-owned by Alan Bishop, formerly of the Sun City Girls. This is a compilation that I really enjoy. I've listened to it a lot. It's the Saigon Rock and Soul Vietnamese classic tracks. Good. You on all of it? Double
All right.
LP.
Jonathan.
I dug it a lot. It has some cool breaks, a lot of funk, fuzz goodness on it. I gave it a 3.
Wow.
I did, yeah.
I thought it was cool. I don't have anything stand out to really say about it. I enjoyed it. I liked the sound of it. It was a unique album. I gave it a 2. Jesse.
For that one, I gave it a 3. I liked a lot of it because it was just kind of a cool background. I felt like we should have been eating noodles and tofu and watching Platoon or something. But it was really cool.
He's on fire tonight. Guys, he's on fire. This is a new Jesse. With
This week he's rusted.
He's with Chad. James, apologize once again for figuring. You were going first on all those other ones, so I assume you went first. Sorry, guys. He wants me to apologize to the world. Sorry.
I actually thought it was kind of funny because this is a guy who does not like the Beatles, and I found like it was the Asian Beatles, even though it sounded like Asian Beatles. And each song,
Sweet Melodies.
I think not Sweet Melodies, but it was like it was a compilation, but it all kind of sounded the same to me, and I couldn't really tell it all apart.
Okay.
Except for just different variations in the singing voice.
What'd you go with on that?
So there wasn't much that I liked. I give it a 1.
Okay. Robert.
Pretty cool album overall. I really liked the guitar sound and the bass, and the lo-fi quality actually kind of increased the coolness of the guitar because it had kind of almost it sounded like a bee or something. It had a really kind of tinny, sort of buzzy sound. And just overall a cool garage psychedelia vibe. So I gave I gave it a 2.
All right. So Brent, your record ended up with a 2.2. He's always leading the applause. That's great.
He just wants everyone
else joins in.
No.
All right, Jonathan, your record.
Go team!
Label Dig. That's what I titled it.
So I brought an album from a label called Trouble in Mind. They're based out of Chicago, and they basically specialize in psych rock and garage. And so the album that I brought was from an artist named Tuttle, and he's more psychedelic end of the spectrum.
And by request, we're going to put the artist and album titles down in the description box for those of you guys that are interested in researching any of these albums. So immediately when it started, to me it had a Beach Boys vibe, psychedelic kind of Beach Boys. And then at times it was Beatlesque, but Beatlesque Tomorrow Never Knows / Rain Beatles. And a bit of a Birds kind of element to it as well. Thing I started to almost get it was a little meandering after a while. I don't know if they just put too much on one side, but it seemed a little bit long. But I gave it a 2 because I did actually really enjoy it, and I like the cover art as well. But that's obviously not part of the stuff. Jesse, go ahead. You're on.
I really liked it. It was awesome, kind of psych pop. A lot of Yakko Gardner maybe in there. A little bit of Melodies Echo Chamber.
Sweet Melody.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, like example.
I give it a 3. I really enjoyed that.
3.
Yeah.
James Todd, are you wait? Oh, here's his. He's like he's doing a skit that we don't know about, right? That was a skit right there. Okay, go ahead.
Well, so this was the one that I actually fell asleep to. So during it,
He actually is saying this. Okay.
I did fall asleep to it. I found it kind of boring, but during the sleep, I dreamt of gingerbread and sugar.
Really?
What? Yeah, I wrote down. I dreamt about gingerbread and sugared nights feeding my belly. I gave it a 1.
His belly has a little mouth.
His belly got psychedelic.
You gave it a 1?
Yeah, I gave it a 1.
Robert.
It's good you put us next to each other because this was for me hands down my favorite thing of the evening.
Nice.
This is off the charts for me. This is like,
arm wrestle.
well, no.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean,
Brett,
I
read
don't, you know, I don't want to humiliate you in front of the viewers.
You're in a sandwich right now. Because I know I've already read Brent's sheet as I was telling the story. But go ahead. This is great. This is what's beautiful about the music club is the difference of how things hit each other.
Did you not like it either?
If
We'll get to it.
like literally, if an artist could like peel back my skull and find the receptors of what I look for in music, and then just channel the music straight in, this is amazing stuff. Harmonies, the drone, and kind of the sort of the Middle Eastern type of guitar lines that you hear in Tomorrow Never Knows and some of that Revolver era Beatles, but really just amped up, taking it I think in kind of new directions. I mean, obviously there's a real retro element to it. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of this is stuff that's been heard before, but I think the way that it was magnified and just really saturated with it, to me, felt original. So
it's got to be a 3 for you, I'm guessing.
This is one of my new favorite artists right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
High praise.
Mhm.
Jonathan, look at him.
take
Proud man over there. Proud man. So if you saw that for $10, you'd buy it.
Oh, yes.
All right, Brent, back here. You're the sandwich. Go ahead.
All right, so I've heard a lot of psych and fuzz guitar and garage stuff, and this was this was really boring for me.
Sorry, guys.
This was generic sounding.
Hopefully nobody hit
I
me.
liked the fuzziness of it, and that was it. The rest of it was just, it didn't really do anything for me. It did get kind of monotonous throughout the whole side.
Guys, we had a little situation here, but we're back. Brent's going to give his final scores for Jonathan's record.
All right, so I gave Jonathan 1 for the music.
Whoa.
Okay. So Jonathan, you ended up overall with a 2, which actually wasn't the lowest rated record. So we're okay. All right, so Jesse, your record, right?
Yeah. I went with a label called Polyvinyl. It was a toss between that and Slumberland, but I actually chose one of my most favorite bands, Asobi Seksu. This is their album from 2009, Hush. And that's
Nice.
everything I love about it.
James.
I like them. I love them. I've seen them in concert and they were amazing. I'm sad that they broke up. I gave it a 3.
Robert.
A 2. It's effortlessly enjoyable. I mean, it's great songwriting, atmosphere. The reason it's not a 3 for me is it sounded too much like Cocteau Twins and stuff like that. They enunciate a bit more. I mean, it's not the, you know, these are more I guess traditional style songs, but so it's really good. But it seemed to me that there are other bands that also sound like that.
Brent.
I really like Dream
Yeah,
Pop's.
you're right.
That's a dream pop record.
That's a
right
dream
there.
pop record.
Wheelhouse.
I just wrote that's dreamy. I gave it a 3.
All right, Jonathan.
Yeah, I like the vocals on there, but I was a little bit disappointed there wasn't any fuzz. You know, because I like Asobi Seksu when they have more of a fuzz element going on, like on the album called Citrus. It's really fuzzy and but I was disappointed that I was missing that, so I gave it a 2.
All right. Jesse bought me this for Christmas or my birthday a couple years ago. Christmas. So I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 3. I really enjoy its melodic sense, and you know, it does. Now that you mention it, it has a Cocteau Twins-ish vibe to it. But I think it stands well on its own, and I enjoy it. And I'd like to take this opportunity to also thank Jesse once again for buying that for me. So thank you, Jesse.
Okay.
Jesse, your record ended up as a 2.6, which was the highest rated
Bam!
of the night. So there you go. Okay, so I think that's me. So I chose the record label Rough Trade, and I went with the Sundays 1990 debut, Reading, Writing, and Arithmetic. And I'd like to take this moment to once again thank Richard Bolin and Christopher Elliott in the vinyl community. for sending me this, guys. Thank you again for sending it, and it was enjoyed by all of us tonight. So your gift keeps on giving. Rough Trade, Home of the Smiths. Jesse, do it.
I love that record. Like, I wish I had that one on vinyl. I don't. I only have the CD. I would give it a 3, a solid 3, for everything. It was as good as mine, the record I brought.
Okay, James.
I also have the album and I also love it. I wrote down no words, just love, and this is where the story ends.
Isn't that
so,
Katy Perry line? No words, just love.
It might be. So I gave it a 3.
Robert.
So this is going to be it's an amazing moment where we're totally in sync.
The rarity.
It's like
this is where you don't get referred to as a jerk.
It's like
it'll still happen.
It's like in World War I when they stopped all the fighting for Christmas, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Jerk.
Just so you feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a classic in every sense. 3 and hearing it on vinyl was a real treat tonight. It's brought out a lot of richness that went even beyond the great sounding other formats I'd heard them. So, yeah.
Excellent. Brett.
I said it was great with an exclamation mark. Great. I gave it a 2.
All right.
I'm gonna be in my.
That's a Bard score right there. Is that not right?
Great.
What was that?
2.
Deluxe record? Okay.
It's not the kind of record you want to throw on and go to the bathroom on. You want to listen to it. But
Yeah,
it's
nice
great.
time then. Okay, Jonathan.
I'm gonna be in
Hater.
the minority here. It just wasn't my wheelhouse. I give it a 1. I didn't stick with
Because
it.
of Jonathan, I didn't have the highest rated record of the night.
Sorry.
So, but that's okay. That's okay. So mine ended up as a 2.4.
Whoa.
All right. Who is next? Is it James?
I guess so. My label that I enjoy, that I've gotten a lot of albums off of, seems to be a majority of my catalog, would be Secretly Canadian, which is what I also feel. I feel that I am secretly Canadian. But I chose Richard Swift's The Atlantic Ocean. I love this album. I saw him live. I loved him live. I love him in general.
All right, Robert, why don't you start this one?
I gave it a 2. I think that the
Sure.
2 in one night. Wow.
I think the songs are top notch, as is the production. I think the only thing holding me back is his.
James, come on.
See what I have to work against these adverse circumstances.
Yeah.
His voice I had a hard time with, but I think if I spent more time with his work, I might grow to like it.
Mm-hmm.
So for tonight, it's a 2, but there is room for improvement.
All right, Brent.
Okay, so
We'll give you a little hand.
So I wrote that after listening to a lot of really monotonous, slow records that almost put me to sleep, I wrote that it had a good pop sensibility without it being real cheesy, which was really nice. So I gave it a 2.
All right. Jonathan.
And I really like this record. It's probably my favorite of the night.
Really?
And I give it a 3. It had really.
I love him.
I do love him. That's what I got too.
It had really great arrangements on it, and the songwriting was really good on it too.
So you gave it a 3?
I did.
There were some cool keyboard sounds. Some of his phrasing reminded me of Mark Bolan, T-Rex. The changes, there were some cool changes in something, Don't You Cry or something. I don't know if it was a song title. But I wrote down, I don't really know if I like his voice.
Right.
You know, that was the thing that was the biggest obstacle for me. So I gave it a 2. And Jeff? It's not a 1.
Hey, I think this is the best scores you've
Yeah.
ever gotten.
Yeah.
So you should be really, really happy right
Here,
now.
let's give him an R. James, you done good. You're all grown up. All right, Dream Pop.
I enjoyed it. There's a lot of good stuff on there. A lot of good stuff on the label. I actually like that label.
Give us a good catchphrase. You're on fire tonight.
Tonight, actually, I just have a few shout-outs for like Soons and Porcelain Raft. There are a couple of bands on Secret Community that I really like.
Name a genre. Come up with a genre name for Richard Swift right now for that record.
It reminded me of, and I could be wrong, I've only listened to that record once, but Hudson Mohawk.
That's a genre name? Hudson Mohawk?
No, it's a singer.
So genre, get
it
genre
reminded
name.
me of Hudson.
Satanic Tahitian funk, something like that.
I think it was,
I think it was
Portugal soul.
Portuguese soul.
Yeah,
Okay.
Portuguese soul.
Okay.
It was new wave, like Portuguese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, James, your record ended up with a 2.2.
Woo! Spring break!
All right, Robert, it's on to you. Last record of the evening.
So the label this year, the label is Feedbands, which is an interesting kind of subscription.
GCR cars getting to
They did.
Oh, yeah, shit. You started it. All right, sorry.
I just can't catch a break.
I know you can't, James.
Jeez, James.
All right. So as I was saying, Feedbands is a label, and I'll be interested to see if they survive. You know, because it's really they've been around for maybe a year, and people subscribe to the label, and each month a new record gets sent to all the subscribers by an unsigned band. So this, I think, was the third Feedbands release, and the band is called Cuckoo Birds.
Don't bring your boyfriends.
Don't bring your boyfriends. Great cover, too.
All right, we're going to start it off with you, Brent.
All right, so I wrote for the things I like that it was rock and roll. It actually has a sheet in there that tells you what kind of music it is. It says that it's psych in the vein of David Bowie and a bunch of other stuff that's not true at all. And so because of that sheet that lied to me, I gave it a 1.
Oh, no. Judge it on the music.
I
Not
did.
Judge it on the cover.
It lied to me. I was expecting a great psych
Once you lie to
band.
Brent.
The
There's
band
no-
did not write that sheet.
But I came with it. I can't be held responsible
yeah.
for it.
Okay, so Brent's standing at a 1. Okay. Jonathan.
It was okay. I gave it a 2. It had a lot of. I like the production on it. It was really lo-fi.
You know,
And it had a good energy throughout.
I wouldn't categorize David Bowie by any means as psych, but I could see some David Bowie-esque elements. You think Aladdin Sane, some of the more bluesier moments. Watch That Man, Genie. I think that's definitely a common denominator with the music. But to call that psychedelic, to reference Brent's issue, but regardless, I'm judging it on what I heard. I gave it a 2. Jesse.
I just wrote garage rock. It actually
Garage or grunge?
garage.
Okay.
It reminded me a lot of a little bit of Bowie, but I think my favorite part about it was actually the bass guitar.
It did.
It had a really cool bass guitar.
When you said that to me, I was just thinking it made me think of Trevor Boulder from The Spiders from Mars, because it definitely had that 70s bass tone to it. I completely see the David Bowie.
And then it kind of had hints of like, and I don't want to get slapped, but a little bit of White Stripes. But then the vocalist kind of reminded me of the vocalist for the Makeup or International Noise Conspiracy.
Track 2 definitely to me reminded me of a White Stripes. White Stripes.
Not the whole
They
thing.
didn't say that on the sheet though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't on the sheet.
James.
I felt his enunciations were kind of like Elvis Costello and Ian Savonius of the Makeup. And yeah, the same thing that Jesse was saying. What I didn't like about it is that I kept on feeling like some of the songs were covers. Like I thought, like I've heard this before. What is this? And then it wasn't a cover really, but the music still, the instrumentation still felt like it. So I didn't feel like it was that original. But I still gave it a 2 because it had me grooving.
Yeah. So Robert, I'm sad to say, but that was a 1.8 because of that 1. So you ended up with a low score, and Jesse ended up with the high score, 2.6. So
Dream Pop Forever.
Dream Pop Forever.
yeah. So guys, thanks for watching. The offer still stands that we made in the previous video. If you'd like to contribute a record to have us go through this process with, by all means, get in contact with us, send us a message here, leave us a comment, let us know you're interested in doing that. If not, just please keep on enjoying. And thanks again. Thanks, guys. Good
Keep
time.
your fingers crossed that our cars didn't get towed. And then she goes, "Watch out, they're coming for you!" And all of a sudden, like 5 birds from the sky comes shooting down towards me, and I just duck out of the way. And they like go, they come back around, and then they come down again, and then one of them decides to just circle. and I'm sitting there trying to get this bird out. The bird won't come out.
Believe this
and
story. This can't be true.
No,
There's no way this is
is
true.
truth. Hold on. And so the bird.
It is. It was on the news. Yeah.
Really?
This bird, like,
It was
then.
on TMZ.
No. So this bird starts flying over my head. It comes down for me again. She's like, watch out. And then she's like, it's just a bird. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm like, back and forth.
Footstepped up.
And then she goes, use the squeegee. And I was like,
You told this whole story on the
They're
news?
totally flying at me. And I'm like, that's a good idea. So I run and I get the squeegee and I'm like holding the little black lever thing down and I'm like, what's going like this with the squeegee, trying to keep the bird away from my head because it's like right like, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? And so then, she's like, no, use it to get the bird out. And I was like, oh yeah. And so I go and I put the squeegee thing into the thing, trying to get the bird out, and it won't get out. And then finally, I'm out of breath. But the bird too,
Me too.
I guess, got out of breath. And he kind of like just decided he was tuckered out. And he ended up sliding out. And then I was able to like take him and put him on the ground. And then I was like, I pulled out my thing. I pulled out my nozzle, and then I was just like, mic drop. I dropped it, and I left. No, I actually put it back into you guys, into the nozzle thing. It's a true story. But then listen to this.